Wars collectors, and welcome to another Bossk's Bounty video. And in this video I'm going to be reviewing the Star Wars The Vintage Collection Mandalorian Fleet Commander from The Mandalorian, or more specifically the Season 3 of The Mandalorian. So this guy, as his name says, was the Fleet Commander. He was on board that really large cruiser that I think Axe Woves ended up taking over as it was going down into Mandalore, basically. Towards the end of the show. So as I said in my overview video of this whole wave, I'm not 100% sure that we needed this character in the line, but we've got him. Obviously there's a lot of reuse there. It's an easy one for them to do. They also got it in the Black Series as well. But you know, when I was looking at the characters that are in that show, he didn't really spring to mind as one that we absolutely needed in the line. But as I say, we've got him now. So let's take a look at the card back. There he is. Pretty basic card back image there. It's him from the show. It looks pretty cool. And there he is in the bubble. What I do like about the figure is the paint apps on this figure. I'm really liking that blue. It's like a really sort of carbonized shiny blue there on his armor. And as I did note in the overview video, by the way, is VC314, is that the figure on the back here is like white. So all of these pieces of armor, his legs and his body and his shoulder pads and even the helmet are all like a sort of white color or an off-white color. Certainly not the dark grey that we have here. This is much more darker grey. You can see the helmet is still a kind of a white. It's definitely a different color to the rest of the armor. So, you know, as I said in that video, perhaps this was like a prototype or something that they had for the images, and since then they've changed it. Also, you can see the blue as well. The blue on the pads here is not that really nice metallic blue that we've got here. It's completely different, in fact that color there is more akin to the Death Watch Mandalorian Airborne Trooper that we got from the Clone Wars. That to me is a really sort of shiny blue. That's quite nice. I like the turquoise color that they've also chosen for the name pill and the panel behind the figure, and it, you know, it makes the figure pop. It's all in all a decent release. VC 314. You can see that this card does have the Ring of Death, which is obviously something that Hasbro need to sort out for all you carded collectors out there. That is just not on. They really should have sorted that out by now. But there he is. So let's open it up and check out the figure. All right then, so here he is outside the packaging. This is the Mandalorian Fleet Commander. And as I said before, I'm loving the look of the figure. I think the paint scheme is brilliant. I'm really liking that blue out of the packaging now, especially on the gauntlets and on his like thigh armor. Top of the helmet as well has it as well. It's a really nice blue, and I think the figure looks great because of it. We'll have a close-up look at the head sculpt in a second, but he does have a removable head stroke helmet combo rather than a removable helmet that goes over the head, so it's a swappable head. Now, although I do prefer that from a scaling point of view, I think it might be causing a separate issue with the neck articulation on these figures, because the same problem I've had with the Jango Fett, who has the removable head, and also with the Clone Trooper 4-pack, which I have reviewed, but the video's just queued up at the moment, but it is going to be on the channel very shortly. There's a chance that it may already have been live already when this video goes live, but still, those three types of figures all have articulation of the neck, which I'm not too fond of. The head doesn't go back too far, it doesn't swivel from side to side that much, and it's because of the way that barbell is placed in the neck and then in the bottom of the head. And it's due, I think, because of this swappable head helmet combo. So they've sorted one issue out with the scaling and then inadvertently caused another. Now, I may be wrong. It might just be on these figures, because they do all sort of have that neck piece to the costume that goes right up the neck. That might be the issue. So we'll have to wait and see if we have a removable head helmet figure that doesn't have that neck piece, basically, and see what happens. But you'll see in a minute when I go through the articulation, the head, you know, the range of motion just isn't what we expect to have on recent figures. There's the back of the figure. You can see there he's got a really nice jetpack, and I've tried comparing it against some of the other jetpacks that we have. It's very similar to some of the other Mandalorians that we have, but when I've compared them, they all seem to have a different missile tip at the end there. So let me know in the comment section below if this one is an exact of somebody else's that we've got another figure. We've got so many Mandalorians now, Boba Fett's and things like that, that it was very, very difficult for me to compare against all of the jetpacks that we have. But as I say, you get a blaster as well, although the figure doesn't have any holsters for the blaster. You know, he's a fleet commander. Maybe he doesn't see as much action as the other Mandalorians. All the other Mandalorians that we have got side holsters. He hasn't got any holsters at all on his uniform. So with the blaster, he's either got to hold it or you've got to stow it away. But that's the back of the figure. Nicely painted jetpack, and all in all, looking pretty decent. All right then, so here is a super close-up look at the head sculpt, and I think they've done a pretty good job with the likeness. I think he looks pretty much like he does in the show. Don't worry about the sweaty paint apps look that the Black Series collectors complain about. I'm pretty sure that that is just the lighting that I have here. If I sort of block that light out there, you can see that he doesn't have that sort of sweaty skin, so it is just the lighting. But I just wanted to give you a good close-up look at that decent head sculpt there, and we'll just move on down. You can see the figure, but there's that lovely blue metallic look shining away on his hands and on the gauntlets and on those thigh pads there of the armor. Really, really cool. And then the back of the figure, you can see the nice paint applications on that jetpack there. Pretty decent. All right then, so as I mentioned, we're going to check out the articulation now, and let's take a look at this head that I was talking about and the neck joint. And you'll see there, you know, usually you can get so much range of motion on there. I mean, it moves forward and back there on that sort of bottom pin or top pin, but it doesn't really go too far back, because it's just restricted by this neck here. And it's just because of the way, I believe, that they are using these double barbells and the way that they're making these heads removable to go with the helmet. So let's just get the helmet for it quickly and plonk that on. But you see right there, I mean, the scaling is so much better. You know, if it was a removable helmet, then it would be like Axe Woves, wouldn't it? And it'd be terrible. Although saying that, they have achieved it before with like the Boba Fett figures and things like that. That deluxe Boba Fett, I think he had a removable helmet and it was absolutely fine. And it's not as if this guy's got like a big hair piece or anything. It's quite a smooth piece. He's got a tiny little head as well. Maybe they could have made this one removable, but maybe they're just paranoid now, because obviously every time they get it slightly out of scale, then we all start kicking off saying, you know, this figure's got a huge bucket, which is not good, and it doesn't look great in scale with the rest of the figure and what have you. So, you know, they've kind of given us what we've all wanted. We've got them in scale, but it isn't removable. Now, when the helmet's on there, you do get a lot better range of motion. You can see it's moving back and forth quite nicely, because the helmet does not brush up against the back of that neck piece like the head does, which is maybe where the problem is. You also do have a articulated rangefinder on the head there. We have ball hinge shoulders, go all the way around, do not get restricted by the shoulder pads, which is great because they are a soft vinyl and they are attached to the upper torso. Hinges at the elbows, hinges at the wrists. We have the torso ball joint there, which is really, really good. We have the barbell hips, we have the split at the thigh, which is hidden by the armor. Decent knee joints as well, and we also have the rocker ankles. So plenty of articulation, as you'd expect from a TVC figure these days, and also from a trooper. Yeah, there he is. He's looking pretty cool. Let's get that backpack back on. Now, there you can see the paint apps difference as well. So this is actually a slightly different color to the rest of the armor. I don't know whether that's intentional. I'll have to look at the source material, watch the show again to see exactly what's going on with that. I'm not even sure if you actually get to see his helmet in the show or not anyway. He's just kind of sitting there at the table at the bridge, isn't he, of the sort of ship that he's on or whatever. But yeah, all in all, a good looking figure. Another Mando to add to the crew. We're going to get quite a few of these this year. Plenty of Mandalorians in the line. We've got the Mandalorian Judge to come. I'm sure there'll be a 4-pack or something. We've got the Mandalorian in this line to take a look at. We've got Axe Woves. So plenty of guys in Mandalorian armor to check out. But this has been the review for the Mandalorian Fleet Commander. As far as Mandalorians go, he's one of the better looking ones in my opinion. I think he looks pretty decent. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks to my Patreon supporters and channel members for supporting my channel. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we shall see you on the next one.